Oh, right. Yeah, well, we're just here today to obviously announce that on the weekend, $500 from every Brisbane Lions goal kicked will go towards the Ronald McDonald Charity House, which I think is, not only fantastic for the club, but obviously fantastic support network to all the families that come here. And I think it's great that us as a football club can help chip in where we can, and this is a great opportunity for us.
20 goals then?
Well, hopefully. I'll be able to kick 20 myself. That'd be all right. Yeah, obviously more goals will obviously be better for the cause, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll have to get everything else right for that.
Speaking of that, he leaves a big hole, Lockie, doesn't he?
Yeah, obviously it's extremely disappointing for Lockie. Disappointment for us as a football team as well. Obviously, reigning Brownlow medalist, really strong leader in our group as well. So there's certainly going to be a loss, but the beauty about these sort of injuries is it gives opportunities for those guys who haven't had much game time in seniors or of any game time. So there's guys chomping at the bit to come in and fill in a role while Lockie's out, and I'm sure they'll come in and do that for us.
How's Lockie been feeling the past couple of days?
Oh, obviously he'd be pretty disappointed. Felt like he was just starting to get his groove back as well. Obviously he had an interrupted pre-season which didn't help, but yeah, his last two games were outstanding, and not only Lockie but all the boys that played through injuries on the weekend. It was a really, really courageous effort by everyone. So yeah, although he's disappointed, sensational effort to get through the game for us.
Do you feel like there's a little more responsibility on the rest of the midfield now, just to go up a couple of percent to
No,
help the forward?
not really. I think everyone just goes out and plays their role, fish, to be honest with you. And whoever comes in for him, whoever that may be, will just fill in as much as they possibly can. But I don't think, we're not really a Lockie Neal midfield-based team. Everyone that goes in there and everyone that goes through there has a role to do, and Lockie was no different.
Who do you see coming in? If you had a voice at the selection table, who would you be?
Well, there's a couple. There's obviously Jared Berry, if he's fit to go, he'll probably come back in. Reece Matheson's been extraordinary in the reserves. He's been emergency a number of times and he had a really good pre-season. So those two are probably the front runners. We've obviously got a few injuries to Cam Ellis-Yeoman at the moment, I think. He's just coming back, so he trained today, which was good. He might throw his hand up. Eli Smith's another one. So there's a number of blokes that can play that role. But probably be out of Reece and Jared. They seem to be the two with the match fitness.
Would it be a horses for courses selection? I mean, Adelaide's a very, or Port, I should say, a very physical team, so you're going to get bashed again. Do you get someone with a bit of size and a bit of grunt about them to...
I think all those guys that I just mentioned then all have an element to that about their game. They're very contested players, love winning their own balls. So I think any of those guys that come in will do a great job for us.
So I just want to ask you on Humour Clutch. Seems to have taken his game up a level this year. Firstly, is that the way you see it, or if so, why do you think he's doing that?
I think that just comes with development and maturity, and him growing as a person as well. He's been a great player for us for a number of years, but he certainly, in terms of his leadership side of things, has really stepped up another level as well. And I think when you have that confidence amongst the group, you gain benefits from it as well. And he's certainly one player that I've seen take leaps and bounds in that department in the last 12 to 18 months. So I think that would have a bit to do with it. He's obviously one of the premier wingmen in the competition as well, so naturally that's going to help. But yeah, I think just all round he's maturing every week, and it just gives you the confidence to go out and execute every game.
Can you keep this momentum after last week's win going into against a pretty tough Port side?
Well, I guess it'd just be going out and executing our game plan for 4 quarters like we try to do every single week. I don't think that really changes for us. We've got the template there. We know our best football is good enough. We've proven that now. So it's just about going out there and doing that consistently for 4 quarters. And if we can hang in there for long enough, we give ourselves a really good chance against anyone.
Zooks, what do you say that, when everyone heard Lockie's out for 8 weeks, everyone goes, there goes the Lions. What do you say to that?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is it being said, has it? Yeah, naturally. Naturally, you probably, when you lose to Brownlow medalists, you're probably thinking, oh no, your team's in a little bit of trouble. But I think one thing that we've shown is we haven't been relying on Lockie in the first opening 5 rounds, and we've been able to win games. So, like I touched on, everyone goes out and executes their role. No one's bigger than the team, and whoever comes in will do a fantastic job for us, and we'll just carry on.
We know what Jared can do, but we haven't seen much of Reece over the last 12 months. Talk us through him. I know he has. He said he's been enormous in the twos. What's he bring?
Yeah, well, obviously there's been a lot of work done with Reece in his transition work. He's worked a lot on his engine over the past 18 months. His contested ball side's always been great, and his skills have always been fantastic. I think he's been so reliable since he's been able to play in our side. So, he just brings a different element. Him and Lockie, very similar players. They both hunt the ball. Reece is a very clean player as well, similar to Lockie. So they have a lot of great attributes, both of them. So that's something that hopefully, if he gets the opportunity, you'll see on Saturday night.
So you played the Dogs a couple of weeks ago, and they got the better of you. Now you're playing Port, probably another premiership fancy.
Yep.
That like to play quickly as well. What have you learned in those past couple of weeks?
I think we need to take our opportunities. Both those sides will certainly give you an opportunity to score. Port Adelaide play a really controlled brand of football. They're kicking a lot more this year, marking a lot more. So, whereas the Dogs like to use the hand pass and flick it on. So, we've had a look at them. We've sort of got a few contingencies in place that we'd like to practice on Thursday at training, and we'll reassess from there. But yeah, certainly they're the benchmark at the moment. Clearly, both those sides in Melbourne.
Just one from me, Dane. When I asked you if you'd be able to come up here today, you were already here. Can you tell us, or you were already planning to be here, so can you tell us what your involvement is with Ronald McDonald House?
Yeah, not sure it's been officially announced yet, but hopeful to come on board as an ambassador for the Ronald McDonald House. It's obviously, McDonald's has been pretty close to me. I obviously worked here as a younger person, not here specifically, but at McDonald's, and my family's certainly been a part of it as well. So I think it's a great foundation and a great charity that certainly helps children from all ages. And I was lucky enough to come here late last year and spend a little bit of time with the kids, and the smile that they got and the enjoyment I saw in their faces. When asked from the house, I certainly jumped at the opportunity to jump on board. So, excited.
As a parent, what they do, I mean,
Yeah.
it's enormous, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I think that's why it's so close to me as well. You never really ever want to see your loved ones in any sort of pain, especially your own children. So the work that they do here is phenomenal, and housing the families, it is really, really special what they are able to do.